principles, here's number one. People are important, each and every one. That means you and that means me. And people everywhere. 'Cause these are the things that make us who we are. Unitarian principles, here's number two. Treat people kindly and treat them fairly too. Be just, be kind, and care a lot in everything you do. 'Cause these are the things that make us who we are. Unitarian principles, here's number three. This is an accepting place where everyone is free to grow in spirit and in heart. And open mind's the key. 'Cause these are the things that make us who we are. Unitarian principles, here's number four. Keep searching for meaning and truth forevermore. There is no creed, I grow my own. It grows along with me. 'Cause these are the things that make us who we are. Unitarian principles, here's number five. Listen to your conscience when actions you decide. Democracy's the way of the free. People are in charge. 'Cause these are the things that make us who we are. Unitarian principles, here's number six. If we work together, there's a lot that we can fix. Our goal is world community with peace for everyone. 'Cause these are the things that make us who we are. Unitarian principles, here's number seven. Respect the web of life in which we all live. We're all connected. You can't just do one thing. 'Cause these are the things that make us who we are.
Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Hillsborough online worship service. My name is Caroline Welty and I am your worship coordinator for today. I would like to thank Linda Seligman, our speaker, Wendy Calvin, our producer, Aviva Enoch, our music coordinator, and the many wonderful singers who will be featured throughout the service. Most of all, I would like to thank you for joining us. Each week, we take a monetary offering to support our social justice work in the community. This support comes in the form of donations. This month, our community partner we share the collection with is Justice United. Please give generously as shown on the screen. Thanks! Now, let's ready ourselves for worship by reminding ourselves of who we are and why we gather. We are a community of liberal, open-minded people who strive to connect with one another in love. Our spiritual home is located at 1710 Old NZ10, but our community stretches far and wide with loved ones who join us from all over the country as we engage in Sunday worship online. We are a people defined by covenant, not creed. That means we have committed to a way of being with one another rather than to a statement of belief. To that end, we support each other in spiritual growth and deepening of faith. We challenge one another to find more love, both inside ourselves and in the world. And today, we welcome you with open arms to our house of worship.
We renew our commitment by Suzelle Lynch. Each time we light the chalice, we renew our commitment to our Unitarian Universalist faith. With the spark of a match, we make it new again, as fresh and surprising as the first day we encountered this spiritual community and realized we were home.
All gathered here, I'm as far away
welcoming community where we find connection, a sharing community where our joys are celebrated, and a caring community where our sorrows are lessened. Each Sunday, we take a moment to share and reflect on the special happenings that have occurred this week in our lives. For those of you who would like to share in the comments or the chat, please do, and know that everything shared aloud or felt in silence is held dearly in the heart of this community.
The Struggle Continues by Unitarian Universalist minister Israel Bufardi. The road that lies ahead of us is a long one, and the pace of progress will sometimes feel glacially slow. Never forget that glaciers over time can carve out grand canyons and great lakes. Moving tectonic plates can rise up mountains over millennia, or they can explode awe-inspiring volcanoes in milliseconds. Our commitment to love and justice can do the same.
Step by step, the longest march can be won, can be won. Many stones can form an arch, singly none, singly none. And by union what we will can be accomplished still. Drops of water turn a mill, singly none, singly none. Step by step, the longest march can be won, can be won. Many stones can form an arch, singly none, singly none. And by union what we will can be accomplished still. Drops of water turn a mill, singly none, singly none. Step by step, the longest march can be won, can be won. Many stones can form an arch, singly none, singly none. And by union what we will can be accomplished still. Drops of water turn a mill, singly none, singly none, singly none, singly none, singly none.
It's good to be with you today, and I'm really looking forward to when we can all get together again. So this is called Committing to Commitment. The theme of this month is commitment. Such a tricky word sometimes. Commitments can be challenging for everyone. We often find it's one thing to make a commitment, but another to actually keep it. Making and keeping commitments both gives us joy and meaning in our life, as well as others around us. Commitments take effort, vigilance, maintenance, and sometimes we fail. The fear of failing to keep a commitment can make us resistant to making them, not wanting to face disappointment. It's important to recognize that our commitments belong not just to us, but they help us form society. When we all join our commitments together, we have cohesion and unified purpose. It is rewarding for us to know we've helped many others, and in the process discovered we've helped ourselves too. Zig Ziglar said, "It was character that got us out of bed, commitment that moved us to action, and discipline that enabled us to follow through." Commitments are born from our deeply held beliefs of what we value and what is important to us. From these decisions, we choose to take action that supports our commitment. For instance, I have a commitment to making the earth healthy. So I have a bag that I put trash in while I walk my dog. So if I forget the bag and saw trash, how does my commitment operate? Does it immediately compel me to pick up the trash anyway, even though it's inconvenient without a bag? Does it compel me to recommit and return back later to get it? Or do I ignore my commitment saying, it's not my problem, I didn't put the trash there? I have a moral dilemma. I imagine we've all posed the question, do I or don't I? The test of how committed I am to my commitment are the actions I decide to take. This will show me what I'm really committed to. How and why do we make commitments anyhow? We are part of our society. We've been immersed in its values, ideals, and customs. These are embedded in our families, institutions, communities, and put to the test in our social media. Even if we ignore or disagree with its tenets, we are aware of the expectations to act in ways society believes has great benefit and to discourage harmful behaviors. None of us can manage life alone. We need the support, protection, and cooperation of our society, and it needs us. We've evolved as a social species to survive. We want to belong and identify with a group, to be accepted and respected for who we are and choose to be. Either consciously or unconsciously, we reflect our society's principles of morals, the judgments of right or wrong, and its ethics or rules of conduct and allowable actions. We have either absorbed, dismissed, or altered them based on values we choose to maintain and hold ourselves accountable for in life. How do we figure out what morals we want to ascribe to and make a commitment to uphold? Periodically in our lives, we reassess what society or our group expects. We reaffirm our alignment or we make adjustments. Developmentally, we reassess in our teen years and at several points in early, middle, late adulthood. The validity of our morals and values are tested by our direct life experience of them. If the value has merit, such as a commitment to be kind to others, and we find this is true based on our own experiences and experimentation, we will continue our commitment, say, to be kind to others and even expand it to include being kind to ourselves. We tend to forget a lot. As a result, we make a more meaningful life for ourselves and by extension, a more meaningful life for others. On the Unitarian Universalist Association website, in the section on the 7 principles, it says, Unitarian Universalist congregations affirm and promote 7 principles, which we hold as strong values and moral guides. To me, our UU principles speak to the collective cooperation that's needed to live in a society that upholds these values. We do so by individually making a conscious commitment and uniting our individual agreements that become woven together to create a meaningful community. We believe in the inherent worth and dignity of every person, justice, equity, and compassion in human relations, the acceptance of one another, use of the democratic process, the goal of world community, and respect for the interdependent web of all existence. Each principle requires an intent to treat one another with respect and dignity and returning to that commitment even when we fall short sometimes. To live these principles and commit to their underlying values helps us make and keep commitments to friends, family, our own lives, our workplace, to causes and organizations we belong to. I think you'd agree that some commitments we make are relatively easy to keep, like feeding our pets, and some far more difficult, like sticking to a diet. We all have our unique challenges with commitments sometimes, and Difficulties are to be expected. So when things get challenging in keeping a commitment, how will we respond? Will we give up when we start vacillating and quitting becomes very tempting? How can we prepare ourselves for this inevitability? We need some wisdom to help us navigate skillfully. We should expect that inevitable difficulties will arise. What tools would be helpful to prepare us for finding solutions in the face of obstacles? First, we need to remind and reconnect ourselves with the value of our commitment and what it's based upon. Then reassess or reevaluate. Is there something that we can do to make the situation less problematic? Is it internal? Do we have some kind of aversion, fear, resistance that we need to address? Can we talk to friends or reach out for support? What would it take to recommit? Are we being honest and kind with ourselves? Do we simply need more patience or time? We need to anticipate having challenges, but encouraging ourselves to find solutions and persevering, especially when we're feeling overwhelmed or overcommitted. We need the warmth, understanding, and wisdom of others to support us. Building our resilience helps us make the best of a situation and ultimately enjoy the rewards and unexpected pleasures of keeping our commitments. Sometimes, despite our efforts, we can find ourselves stuck in unhealthy habits. We may feel the effort is not worth it. But as we know, anything worth pursuing requires some effort, some discipline, and often getting out of our comfort zones. We just want to be sure we aren't captive to unskillful, counterproductive ways of thinking, resulting in broken commitments that could otherwise be resolved. There's a lot of power and satisfaction in keeping commitments and seeing the fruits of our efforts. They're a way for us to enjoy long-term loving relationships, organizations that are stronger because of our involvement, causes strengthened by our support, others living with a smile in their heart because of our love and care, and a healthier environment or a satisfying work life. Committing to keeping commitments, including embracing their challenges, can offer us experiences of fulfillment, purpose, joy, meaning to life, personal growth, generosity, and compassion. Everything that happens to us, our thoughts and feelings, are our teachers. Having an honest and non-judgmental evaluation of ourselves and correcting any harm done to ourselves or others is important in trusting our ability to face our shortcomings with grace. We will fail or at least stumble sometimes. Cultivating resilience to inevitable failed commitments not only helps us know that no matter what happens, some good will come out of it as we encounter life's lessons and increase our compassion for ourselves and others. We can figure out what we need to do to recommit ourselves to our commitments. As Joseph Pennington said in his article about resilience, so look on the bright side. Challenge your reactive thoughts and emotions and learn to lean into discomfort. We make committed actions based on alignment with our deep values because it supports and affirms who we are and want to be in the world and what environment we want to be a part of creating and living within. We commit to serving all beings in our vast interconnected web of life. We commit to leave our legacy of action, to uphold the worth, dignity, and respect for the benefit of all. Committing to commitment is a powerful way for us all to be in the world. As Cornel West said, we have to recognize that there cannot be relationships unless there's commitment, unless there is loyalty, unless there is love, patience, and persistence. May it be so, and blessed be.
From the light of days remembered, burns a beacon bright and clear, guiding hands and hearts and spirits.
of the flame that burns within. Then our promise finds fulfillment, and our future can begin. From the stories of our living rings a song both brave and free, calling pilgrims still to witness to the life of liberty. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment, and our future can begin.
From the dreams of youthful vision comes a new prophetic voice, which demands a deeper justice built by our courageous choice.
When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment, and our future can begin.
From the pen of Reverend David Blanchard comes this inspiring challenge entitled, Keep Promising. Do more than simply keep the promises that you make to one another. Do something more. Keep promising. As time passes, keep promising new things, deeper things, vaster things, yet unimagined things. Promises that will be needed to fill the expanses of time and of love. So keep promising.
We extinguish this flame, but not the spark of joy in our worship, the fire of commitment, or the warmth of community. Blessed be, my friends, until we meet again.
To my loved ones and relations, with me in spirit every day, to neighbors I have not yet met, close to home and far away. Be safe, be well, you mean the world to me. Be safe, be well, you mean the world to me. To my friends who make good music, sharing joy both far and wide, and to those who we depend on to teach, to heal and guide. Be safe, be well, you mean the world to me. Be safe, be well, you mean the world to me. And to all who hear this message, to strangers and to friends, here's an embrace of music until we meet again. Be safe, be well, you mean the world to me. Be safe, be well,